So let's talk about body composition. Most people think that having too much body fat is worse for your health than anything. But I actually want to say that having not enough muscle mass, so being under muscled, having low muscle mass in relation to your fat mass is actually more of a concern than we realize. You can have excess body fat. And yes, of course, that, is not great for overall health, visceral adiposity around your stomach and abdominal fat around your organs. That's concerning. But not having enough muscle mass or having low muscle mass is actually just as concerning, if not more. So when we're doing in-body scans, the in-body here, there's a C, an I, and a D. It's backwards, so you can't really see. What you want is a D. You want your muscle mass to be higher than your fat mass. So the weight is at the top, and then you have your muscle mass, and then you have your fat mass. You want it in the shape of a D. C is where your fat mass is higher than your muscle mass, and I is where everything is neutral. We are aiming for a D. It's very rare that I see a D. Most people fall into the C category where their fat mass is higher than their muscle mass. So when we are using GLP-1s or we're using my weight loss program, which are the two avenues I typically use for weight loss, they are incredible from, a weight loss, fat loss, anti-inflammatory perspective, of course. But we want to ensure that we are maximizing our muscle mass when we are losing weight. So the reality is any program, any weight loss protocol, even a calorie deficit comes with the risk of lowered muscle mass. It's not just GLP-1s. Anybody who's losing a large amount of weight does run the risk of losing muscle mass. So that's why it's very important to maintain adequate protein and weight-bearing exercises to ensure that the weight you're losing is fat. Fat loss and weight loss are very different. You can lose weight, and if predominant amounts of that weight is muscle, then that's actually more detrimental to your health than if you are losing fat. Doesn't matter necessarily the weight. What we care about is the composition. So fat mass and muscle mass when it comes to weight is actually most important. I don't care about BMI, body mass index, that's some arbitrary chart, height versus weight. The reality is most people who have a lot of muscle mass are considered obese by BMI standards. So what I care about is fat mass and muscle mass. And whether I'm using a GLP-1 or not, it doesn't matter. The weight loss, great. We care if you're losing fat loss. So I hope that makes sense a little bit.